Space Station. They were able to watch the launch and rendezvous all the same way. They do not, though, if needed, to take command, but it is a fully autonomous ride. And then on the left, you can see Dragon from the International Space Station. Let's take a look. It looks like they are flying 269 statute miles over the Tasman Sea in an orbital daytime.
Great views here of both vehicles on your screen. Again, if you are just joining us, that is Dragon on the left-hand side and the ISS on the right. Of course, as we get a little bit closer to docking, Dragon is actually going to swing up in front of the station to approach the Harmony module, which means that as great as this view of Dragon with the Earth in the background is, we are not going to have it as we get closer to docking because we are going to move up into that approach axis.
And once Dragon gets to the Harmony module, it'll be docking on the Node 2 forward port. That's the most forward port on the International Space Station. There is another that is the Zenith port, or that's the space-facing port, and that is where the Crew 8 Dragon is docked right now. So there'll be 2 Dragons for our crew members on the space station once Crew 9 arrives today. However, not for long, because we are expecting this handover period to take just about a week. That allows the Crew 8 astronauts to bring the Crew 9 crew members up to speed, make sure that they are ready to take over everything that they've been working on over the last several months. So once that handover period is complete, obviously we also have to take a look at what the weather looks like here on Earth, because this is a splashdown. Need to make sure everything is good around the coast of Florida, whether that's on the Gulf side or the Atlantic side, whatever we choose to target for the return of Crew 8 before we send 4 crew members home. And that'll bring us back down to 7 people living and working on the space station. Now, we've had 9 most of the summer with Butch and Sunny joining the space station crew, but once we say farewell to Crew 8, we'll be back down to 7, and we consider that typically like an average number or an average complement.
I'm sure that if they wind up with any extra days for their handover there, depending on weather for splashdown conditions, that will be welcome for the crew on board, in no small part because, as you mentioned, we've had a couple of additional people above that standard contingent on station all summer, meaning there's a lot of scientific research that's been going on, and I'm sure a lot of very detailed handoff operations that need to take place.
Now, again, I mentioned we are in an orbital daytime right now, and so the International Space Station sees about 16 sunrises and sunsets a day. When they cross over from day to night, that's called the Terminator line. And so they see a beautiful sunrise, and we have that for about 45 minutes before they move into a nighttime. So one thing that you have to be conscious of when you send crew members to space is the circadian rhythm. So there are actually specially developed lights on the International Space Station to simulate different times of day. That way, as they move throughout their day, you know, we're used to when the sun sets here, that means the day is over. But if you see it 16 times that day, it could be a little bit confusing. So some of those lights help regulate the body's responses to what time of day it is, and even wind down in the evening.
It would be incredible to get the opportunity to watch sunset every 90 minutes, though. I think that would be an exciting aspect of being on space.
You would have to pull me out of the cupola. Now, I just got an update that the mid-course maneuver is in work, so we are standing by. Again, a small burn like this one just helps us retarget or realign the International Space Station as we continue moving ever closer. If you squint really hard on the left side, you can see that the